Welcome to the Size Up. I got Wendy with me.
Hi.
We're waiting on Heather. I don't know what's going on, but we are waiting on Heather to join us. Um, at any rate, this is our election episode. We do have an upcoming election here in the state of Tennessee that will um, um, make some. We got the state senate race that's coming up. That a lot of candidates are definitely running for. We got a lot of good candidates. We also have the school board. Okay, we also had a school board race that's coming up as well. So a lot of us are very, very concerned about the state of our students.
Yes.
This upcoming school year. Shelby County Schools have not made a decision as of yet here what they're going to do. They've given parents two options, but you got teachers, you got administrators, you got cafeteria workers, you got a lot of people that will be affected by school opening. And then because there are so many questions about COVID still, we don't have all the answers.
Right.
So I made the choice and the decision to have my child stay home.
Well, Joshua Soulsville said that it's going to be a virtual semester. So now I got to call them to see, number one, how do we register him? Because, Joshua's going
online. I got the email. It's online.
I don't have the email.
I'm still getting emails. My child graduated. How crazy is that?
Right. And then I need to know. I had 3 questions. First, how do we register? You told me online. 2, how do I get the laptop? Right. And is there a fee to get the laptop? Because they had that technology fee.
I don't know if it's a fee though. I'm not.
And then 3, when he's in virtual homeschool, does he still have to wear a uniform? Because I had two $20 cash, Old Navy cash, and a $10 one. And so I went Friday to buy him some pants and got me some stuff because if I spend like $100, and of course I get $40 off.
Right.
And then I gave somebody my $10 one because I was like, I don't see what else I can buy in here. So, and then I need to get a shirt for Joshua. So those are my questions for.
So I don't think they should make the kids wear uniforms. I mean, they're at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've made that decision. I get why, but I was never a fan of them doing it because I felt like it took the kids' sense of expression away. Is what I felt like. But again, I am just a parent of 2 children, so but I never agreed with it. However, to make them wear uniforms at home doesn't make sense. Like, when they were doing it in the spring, when things first started and things first hit, I understood. I mean, they were letting the kids kind of work at their own pace on the work. But I made sure mine got up. He got up. He did his assignments every day. I made sure of it. And I think we just got to, as parents, have to be on top of that. Now, I know there is still an issue with a lot of parents that have to go to work, which is why I thought the majority of the kids were going to end up going to school. However, I don't know if they got a final tally on who is planning on being in schools and who is planning on going virtual. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they said 60% of the parents had gone ahead and made the response. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they said the majority of them were planning on being home. What I can't get behind, also with the schools opening, what I definitely can't get behind is the fact that places are opening up. And I can't, this opening up thing, I get the economy, I get all of that. And they're putting a pause on the bars and the restaurants, but.
Okay. Saturday, I was doing my deliveries for
right.
everything. And I was up and down Germantown Parkway. I had a delivery around at Red Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And Incredible Pizza was super packed.
That's what I'm not getting. And we're
I'm like,
situation. Put two today. I don't know if you saw that video or not. So
what was going on the video?
We're gonna talk about it in just a second. So what Happy Mexican has been packed.
Yeah.
People are wearing masks. I don't understand. I don't get it. When I say I don't get, I mean to tell you I do not get it. You have an ordinance in the city that says you have to wear a mask. You have to go in place. Now I know it's hard to wear a mask and eat. Trust and believe, I understand. But this is the other thing. I didn't think we were at 100% capacity either, and they're super packed. Chuckles. Somebody made a post about Chuckles. Somebody said they passed by Chuckles last night, and the line was wrapped around the building. How are you social distancing if and you gotta wear a mask and that sort of thing? So I don't understand. This is what I'm not understanding and getting. How are we opening up fully?
I don't understand that either. And it's like this. For me personally, I'm not doing any recreational things until it's 100%. Everything is okay. COVID has left the building.
Yeah,
COVID has left 2020.
As a matter of fact, I need to call my gym and tell them cancel my membership because I am not.
Well, I go to the gym, but the time that I go in the morning, it's like 2 or 3 other people.
Yeah, by the time I go, what's going to end up happening is that it's going to be 100 million people at the gym, and I ain't got time for that. I don't have time. Don't be trying to talk to me while I'm working out. I don't have time for any of that. And then, on top of that, the fact that when I work out and try to wear a mask, they don't seem to work out for me. I be ready. I be feeling like I'm about to pass out. So I would rather just do what I've been doing and working out at home and working out, like walking and jogging and that sort of thing, and get my exercise that way. Instead of me, I miss the treadmill. I promise God I do. I don't miss the stair climber. I do not miss that, or the elliptical. I don't miss those 2 machines. But other than that, I miss the treadmill. I miss being able to pick up some weights, being able to do some leg work on my legs, that sort of thing. So
I got me a trainer. I went ahead and got me a trainer. And my trainer, she wore her mask and she was 6 feet from me, and because I met her for the first time Saturday. And she kicked my behind. My legs still hurt. I hate squats. I hate squats. I hate jumping jacks.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I hate planks. Oh, they're the enemies. And that's what she likes to do. But she was like, well, to make you feel comfortable, I'm going to be 6 feet away, but I'm going to show you what you need to be doing and stuff like that. And being, respecting your space and, and then every time I get back, I'll make sure I take a hot shower and stuff like that. Get all the burns off of me. But I just found myself, if I wake up early in the morning and get to the gym when it first opens, you will hardly see anybody there. And that's what I like.
Right.
So we're going to see how long that lasts, though.
I don't know. I'm still sketchy about it. So, so I'm not gonna put myself in that position, or at least I'm not gonna try to put myself in that position anytime soon. I need to tell them don't take this money out of my account next month because I'm not gonna be visiting them anytime soon. And I see some people are going to the gym, but that's fine. That's you. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't feel comfortable going to work. Let's just be honest. I don't. Even though we masked up and we got the little sneeze guards and all that, I still don't feel comfortable being at work because people don't care. People do not care, and they're not telling us, hey, I got COVID, or I've been around somebody that has COVID, and they're not quarantining for the 14-day period that they need to quarantine for, and they're not going to get, it's just so many different variables that go along with it. So that's why I don't feel comfortable doing certain things because,
Well, my 18-year-old niece, I guess she don't want to wait until, spring of next year when she's actually in college, but she's going to Florida this coming up weekend. My sister told her, when you come back, do not come here.
Right.
You're quarantining, you're giving us, you're telling me that you don't care about us.
No.
So you're going to quarantine wherever you go for 2 weeks. And you know where she works? She works at a nursing home. In the food department, She and every week they test them for COVID.
So I guess she figured she just get tested when she get back, and it's all good. They got high rates in Florida. I don't trust it.
I don't trust it either. We try to tell her. We try to get her to think logically, but people,
because
the young kids think.
You don't experience any symptoms, or even if you experience symptoms, the younger people are not really having a hard time. They're not having a hard time with it. You know what I'm saying? They're not experiencing they're not experiencing real bad illness when it comes to COVID behind it, if you will. So because they're not experiencing those symptoms so hard, but there could be somebody that's at a higher risk to experience the symptoms. There could be somebody who is not what's the word I'm looking for? Who is ill already. They may have a pre-existing condition that makes them a little bit more prone to getting COVID. So that's the issue that we're working through and dealing with. And then you could be asymptomatic as well and pass the disease on or that on to somebody else. And so I don't blame her, because of course, you guys are there with your mom. So she's older, and you definitely don't want, you know what I'm saying, that to affect her. And it's a lot of older people dying because the younger people don't care.
Yeah. And they said that one of the highest rates are between the people from ages 20 to 29. So I'm guessing that these people thinking, okay, we're young, it's not going to happen to us.
Right.
But it proved, you have to realize it proves wrong, different.
Yeah.
Because I remember when there was a lot of kids at the beaches for spring break, and the majority of them end up going home with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's no joke. It is not a joke. And then we have little orange man always now trying to be like, gotta wear the mask. You gotta do this now. It's going to happen. It's going to get worse. Okay, you've been talking against this the whole time. So now you know that your numbers are down, way down. Absolutely. If you do not approve of you at all. Yeah. So now you're kind of, okay, I'm going to act like I care.
Yeah. Which is crazy. It shouldn't take that to be at that point. So Collierville had actually 2 student athletes that tested positive for.
I think it's 3 now.
Is it 3 now that tested positive for COVID-19? So it's. I think we need to completely shut down. We're going to talk a little bit about the stimulus as well, but I think we need to completely shut down. We need to completely shut down because we got to get a hold of this. We need to. I think if we would have just stayed shut down for an extra month or a half, yeah,
it probably wouldn't have gotten this worse.
Right.
But as soon as you saw a plateau in the little bit numbers,
and we can't travel to any of the other countries. Like we can't. I mean, my dream
go to Canada or Mexico
to anywhere. Not that I want to go anywhere in right now anyway, but my dreams of flying to go to Africa or to go to Greece or to go to Italy, some of the places that I've always wanted to visit, them folks said, if you coming from America, you can't come here. You can't come here. And so NATO is working on a stimulus package that's going to give millions of dollars to different countries that have been affected by COVID-19. And it was a no-brainer for them. We always kind of mention Canada. Anya's coming in now. We always try to mention Canada. Hey, Anya.
Hi, Anya.
We try to mention Canada when we're talking about the COVID-19 and how they have dealt with or handled their situation. And of course, Canada is a whole different ball game from us. But with Canada, they have to they cut school off. I think they don't go back to school till January of 2021. And then they're also people are getting unemployment, I think $900 or something like every couple of weeks, and then they don't have to pay rent or mortgages. They just have to make sure that their utilities are paid. So that's a really, really big thing that that I'm seeing that's just kind of different than the way we've handled our situation here in America. Say that one more time.
We are a country.
When do you
hear me? I'm saying we are capital. That's how we think of money. How much money can we make? How much money are we losing? How we're about to die? We need to charge them an arm and a leg. You know, it's our country runs, unfortunately.
Right. So what's bothering me about that whole thing is, yes, we are a greedy country, in my opinion. And the reason that I feel like we are a very greedy country is because we're their money. You know, it's always been money based. It's always been about the dollar. And I get it. I understand, you know, people have businesses, people have lives. They have to live and they have to push forward. But the total handling of how they've dealt with this COVID-19 situation has been just crazy. So the first stimulus package that they passed was, of course, if you made like $75,000 or below, you got $1,200 per person in your household. Person in your household, per adult in your household, and then you got $500 or dependent or child under 17, because I had a 17-year-old and I ain't get nothing for him. But so that was one thing that they passed. So they sent that. A lot of people who made over that $75,000 or more, what they did was they gave them something, but they didn't get like the full amount. So there were a couple of proposals when it came to the upcoming stimulus that they're working on now, that they actually have to supposedly have passed by August. And that stimulus package is supposed to be another $1,200 payment. What the House of Representatives passed was one that included getting $1,200 per person in your household, even the kids, and capping it off, and also including those students, your students that were 17, or those college students in your household, but they capped it at a certain amount. That was what the proposal was from the House of Representatives. The senators, however, the Republicans have been fighting. They've been going back and forth and clashing. So because of that, they haven't been able to come to a conclusion or make a decision as to their plan and what they plan to do with this stimulus plan. But they're getting ready to go on break again, or recess as they call it. So because they're getting ready to go on recess, what's going to have to happen is that they got to come up with something, and somebody's going to have to compromise. I remember Mitch McConnell saying that he was only for letting people who made $40,000 or below receive the stimulus, and everybody else gets nothing. But my thought process was, what about those who made over $40,000, but in them making over the $40,000, what about those people who may not be able to work at this point in juncture right now? So those are just kind of some of the things that come to mind, because you don't know what these people are going through if they're off work, or something had to shut down and they're unable to work from home. So these are just some of the things that they're fussing about and fighting over among the Republican Party.
Well, I tell you this much: the unemployment, and you know where I work, right?
Right.
How many cases I had to close because the unemployment went way over the income?
Of course it did.
And I'm like, and now they're gonna get mad because I closed them, and now they're not getting the money anymore. Yesterday was the last day
for the unemployment. Okay, your phone, break it up. Okay. So yes, I understand that was supposed to end on yesterday. The new stimulus package is supposed to include that. However, it's probably not going to be the $600. But here's the thing too: in states where that's not an issue, they got the PEBT that we've been waiting on for the longest. So they were able to still get those EBT funds. From my understanding, if you already had a card, they still gave you the money, if you will.
I'm still waiting. Right,
I'm still waiting on my card too. But they still gave you the money, even if you already were receiving food stamps. I don't know if they gave you a little bit more than that or not. The cash part, I don't know how that worked out. But yeah, they've received more than what they were receiving working. And because they were getting the $600 a week, I get it. It's about to get cut now.
Right, because I think the Republicans are thinking that these people don't want to work because they make more money getting the unemployment than actually getting.
That's their thought process.
Yeah.
However, what if their job shut down completely and they don't have anywhere to go, and it may be hard for them to find a job at this point? It's so many different issues and so many different things to kind of put out there. And they don't have a sense of reality is my thought behind it. That's my thought process behind that. No sense of reality whatsoever at all. So yeah, I just think that the handling of it has been pretty crazy. And it's been unfortunate to say the least. So now, this is not political, but it is. Well, let me back up. We talked about the restaurants not, and the people kind of being over capacity and allowing the people to come in to just Put for instance is one of those places. So I'm going to talk about this because I saw this. I stopped watching the news a very long time ago. I got tired of hearing about COVID every week.
Well, all you hear about now, because you know my degree is in journalism and
right.
And communication. So it's like I gotta watch the news to see what's going on. So what you hear now, COVID, somebody got killed. COVID, somebody got shot and killed.
And you know why
got shot and killed.
This is why I think. Not saying that crime is not a big issue in our communities, but I think they are really revving up on those stories about crime, and the reason why they're doing it, I think, is because of Black Lives Matter, and I think because of what they're fighting for, as far as that's concerned. That's always been the narrative. Let me say that, but the narrative has
right. What about? But I don't care. Black Lives Matter. I remember when I was looking at Channel 5. It was either Channel 3 or Channel 5. Feed on Facebook, and somebody says, "Oh, but Black Lives Matters, right?" I said, "You know what?" I had rebut. I said, "White folks kill white folks. Does that mean white lives don't matter?"
I tell people all the time. There was a snap before there was a fatal attraction. You know what I'm saying? Dateline with the crime news and stuff. They had that out way before Your Man came. I'm talking about, and still to this day, they do the special investigations on Friday. Any given Friday night, you can look at CBS,
48 hours,
NBC, right, ABC, and they got some little crime mystery they trying to figure out, or they know who did it. It was another white person that killed another white person, and it's a lot of those situations to where that's the case. So my question behind that is that the numbers don't lie. Everybody, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. These are the numbers that you are getting from the people that are that are telling your story and putting your narrative out there. Is it a problem in our communities? It definitely is a problem in our communities. However, Black Lives Matter they're not fighting against the crime that we commit against ourselves. There are plenty of organizations that are fighting those crimes. I can name 2 or 3 community activists here in the city that their whole goal and their whole motive has been for years is to fight against Black on Black crime. And that's been their
and let's add this. Majority of the assailants are caught and tried and put in jail. So I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about how, well, y'all don't care about y'all lives because y'all killing each other. Y'all guys are killing one another too. Hispanic people are killing one another
They
too.
are.
Asian people are killing one another
They
too.
are.
It's all depending on the community that you're living in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I see that. Got tired of seeing it. So I haven't really watched the news, but I saw this post yesterday. And there were a group of kids that were out. That had gone to Putt Putt, and they went to Putt Putt to have fun, hang out. You know how we used to do it. Parents used to drop us off at the mall so we can go, you know, hang out.
The good old days.
Right. So, first of all, this is COVID-19. So let me first start off by saying there is no way on God's green earth I'm dropping my 17-year-old off to go meet up with his friends and Putt golf, and I'm just not finna do that. In the midst of COVID, I don't plan to do that at all. So with that being said, since that ain't the plan for me, I don't understand why parents were okay with sending their kids to Putt Putt without a mask, because I ain't seen none of them kids on with no mask. I don't know. I don't understand.
Did they destroy Putt Putt or something?
Yes, they tore Putt Putt up. So here's the story that I heard. I've heard two different stories. One story I heard was that the machines and the attractions were not working at Putt Putt. And so because of that, they wanted a refund. I don't know if they were told no, they couldn't get a refund. Whatever that situation was looking like, you must be looking at it. Are you looking at it? Yeah. So so as a result of them not, yeah. As a result of them not getting the refund,
I can't.
they went totally off.
And see, that's to show the home training that they have.
But let me go here. Let me go here. Let me just humor me for a minute. I don't agree with the parents dropping their kids off. However, we ain't in phase 3 yet. Why are them kids at Putt Putt? So why now, are all those children at Putt Putt? They ain't got no mask on. Why they at Putt Putt? We're not in phase 3.
Exactly.
The city didn't say open up the floodgates and let everybody come to your establishment. That we're not in phase 3. So first of all, let me start there. First of all, you shouldn't have let them kids in your establishment if they ain't have a mask. That's number one. Number two, it was too many of them to be at Putt Putt. Number 3, parents, what is wrong with you? Why did you drop your kids off in Putt Putt?
I can tell you why, because they didn't want to be bothered with their kids. That is the reason why. They've been cooped up with their kids since all of this has happened, and they don't want to deal with that badass kids. I'm so glad my son, he's like, you know what, mama, I'm good until I know for sure all of this is over with. I don't have to go nowhere. As long as I got my video games or my TV, I am good. But I tell you one thing, if I was to ever to drop Joshua off, he wouldn't be doing none of that stupid mess.
Right. Absolutely.
Because if I found out he was doing that stupid mess, I would be whooping his stupid ass.
Mm-hmm. Well, they literally tore the club up.
And this has just set us back completely. And you know how people see us. I mean, I'm just saying. Saying.
Here's the other story that I heard.
Talk about people. This is what gets me. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. I am so sorry, but I just have to say this. This is what happened when people be like, "Y'all always think we this. Y'all always think we that." Then stop acting like it, and then nobody would think it. Act like you got some home training.
So, and I'm for that. I agree. Act like you have some home training. I totally completely agree with that. But again, the parents were wrong. And not only were the parents wrong, but so was the establishment, because this is not. So I know I saw the mayor get on TV a couple of days ago to say that there were 13 establishments that they cited for, first of all, being over capacity, and 2, people not wearing masks in their establishment. So
I think somebody had sent Mayor Strickland a message about Happy Mexican on Winchester being packed and no mask.
Right.
And he said, we're gonna get that taken care of. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Because they got that order. Because they got that order wrong. That's what they were mad at. But here is the thing. Again, the rules are the rules. The mandates are the mandates. You can't come in my establishment without a mask. It was a lot of those kids that I saw in that video, they didn't have masks on. A lot of them were not. Some of them may have. And for them to tear that establishment up like that. Now, let me tell you what else I heard. I heard that the manager spit in one of the kids' faces. I did hear that. I was like, well, if that's indeed true, the child still should not have handled the situation in that manner. Then I heard that the kid spit in the manager's face. So I don't know who spit in whose face. I don't know how that went down or how that situation took place. But yes, the home training does need to take place and happen. And now, from my understanding, the main girl that you saw in the video that was throwing everything behind the counter and behind the register, from my understanding, they're looking for her. They hadn't found her. They looking for her. So, and then I saw another video of all the kids running out of putt-putt and parents trying to find their kids because they saw the video on Facebook. This is crazy. When I tell you it's super crazy, it's crazy. Literally don't understand why that took place and happened. But I think that if the rule is you need to have a mask on, that would have eradicated half of those kids right there. But it was overpacked. There's no way on God's green earth that many kids should have been in that establishment. So yes, putt, your place got torn up, but we ain't in phase 3 yet. I don't remember that it being announced that we were in phase 3. I could be very wrong, but I don't think we should be at full capacity in these restaurants and establishments as of yet.
And like I said, it all stems from capitalism. People don't want to go out of business. People don't want to lose their jobs. I had an Uber delivery at Chipotle's at the Wolf Chase Mall, and they was taking a long time. So I said, you know what? I'll be right back. And I used to work at Gap. Gap is not open. Gap said, when COVID is over, we will be open.
Gotcha.
You can order online.
Yeah. Yeah. Old Navy is open. I've seen them open up.
Yeah, because I've been there
for a long time.
But they good. They good at telling people, you can't come up in here if you ain't got no mask on.
Places that I go, the grocery stores, Family Dollar, Dollar General.
No. They got somebody at the door.
That's what I'm saying. When you walk in, when they greet you at Family Dollar, they greet you. They may be at the register, but when you come in, they asking you where your mask at. Mm-hmm. You walk in there, you don't have a mask on, they're gonna say, hey, you can't come in here, you gotta go. So these things that I'm saying, and Walmart has a person at the door, Kroger has a person at the door. If these larger facilities or establishments are following these rules and regulations, why do the restaurants and the entertainment spots get a free pass? I don't understand that or get it. So
I've driven by on the expressway and I've seen Main Event open too, and Andy B's be packed all of the time, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I don't understand.
So are they picking and choosing who to do? Now Andy B's though is technically in Bartlett, correct?
Yeah.
So I don't think the outer skirts, because I remember before they even opened up the restaurants and stuff back up for people to go in and sit down and eat, it was open on the outskirts. So you could go to Collierville and go sit down and eat and drink. You could go to different places, you know, right outside. Mississippi, of course, ain't never followed the rules and regulations. But you have different situations to where you could go and go sit down and eat. You could go to a bar in Germantown or in some other places rather than in the city of Memphis. So Andy B's being packed, whereas I don't agree with it, the city of Barley probably doesn't have the same ordinance that the city of Memphis does.
Yeah. And you know, majority of the white folks don't want to wear a mask anyway.
Oh no, their civil liberties have been taken away by putting this mask on. It's crazy.
Their human rights, their constitutional rights has been I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's where we are with that.
Now, have you seen this video where this guy, he was trying to deliver food at this apartment complex and the old white lady would not let him in? She lived in the complex, the old Karen would not let him go and deliver it. I was like, that cannot be me. Cause I'm telling you, if I come across something like this, I'm gonna tell them, look, you are in my space, number one. So I'm thinking of you as a threat. I will defend myself if I have to because you're in my space.
Yeah.
I can call the police and I can sue you.
I've seen that. I see that happening more and more. A guy was delivering furniture into a gated community, and he was supposed to be going in, and the president of the homeowners association and another neighbor was stopping him from going in to deliver this person's furniture. And he was just telling them, I'm doing my job. I'm talking about he got the furniture companies on the truck. He's telling them where he's going. I'm coming to deliver furniture. They would not let him in because he was black. Eventually the police had to come and to allow this man to go on and go into the place. But in my opinion, I think in those situations too, those people need to do time. They need to be arrested. They need to go through the same thing. You're humiliating this person who's trying to do their job. And you definitely need some time because first of all, a lot of them are calling the police for no reason. There's real crime to be fought. Crime to be fought out in the world, and you're calling because you don't want this black person to be in your presence. I can't get behind that at all. So yeah, that's what's going on. Michelle Obama has a podcast, and her first guest is gonna be President Obama is gonna be her first guest on her podcast. I saw this, and I'm trying to think of the name of it real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. But I'm interested in seeing this. This is gonna be really, really cool. I still have not seen the Becoming documentary on Netflix. I really want to see that, but I haven't, and I got to sit down and read the.
When it saw it,
huh?
When it first came out, I saw it.
See, I didn't, because I have other people that in which I share my television with. So her podcast is going to be on Spotify. And I'm trying to see the name of the podcast.
Okay.
Hello. Oh, it's just saying get a preview. It's just saying Michelle Obama podcast. Maybe that's the name of the Michelle Obama podcast. We're gonna go with that. But it's on Spotify. So I can't wait to listen. I add that to my list of podcasts that I listen to on a very regular basis. Yeah. This is what I will be doing. I'm trying to see, Lord Jesus, how to share this on Facebook. But yeah, so I can't wait to hear it. But President Obama is going to be the first guest on the show. I can't wait to hear that and how that's going. A lot of you guys are against Biden, and I totally and completely understand it. I'm sorry, excuse me. Kanye West had his first rally about a week ago. And when he had his first rally, he said some things that were disturbing, but I saw some other clips from the rally. So I am not for Kanye being the president of the United States. I'm definitely not for that. Not for it for several reasons. Number one, you bipolar, my brother, and I cannot. We already have a bipolar president in the White House, and I don't need to see another one at all.
Exactly.
I don't need to see another one at all. And he ain't bipolar. This one ain't bipolar because he's been diagnosed with bipolar syndrome. He's just bipolar because there's something real wrong with him, and he flip flops and do all kind of stuff and lie, that sort of thing. So it's not that. It's because I don't want to see this again. And I do believe you can be anything you want to be in the world, but I just don't think that that's the right thing for him to be right now for us. He has some of his views are pro-black, and I'm always for pro-black. But the message and the way he's delivering the message is not cool. The other thing is a lot of people are applauding Kim Kardashian because she's standing by him and she put out this message about dealing with somebody with mental illness and all this stuff. And I get it, understand wholeheartedly, and she's supposed to stand by her husband because that's her husband. On the flip side of that, same argument. Kim Kardashian knew who she was married to when she married him. I'm sorry, back up. When she cheated with him on her husband while he was still with Amber Rose, she knew who he was then, okay? When he was at Amber Rose, we saw Kanye unravel then because he lost his mom, Donda West. They would not allow him in North Carolina to put his name on the ballot because he had missed whatever the deadlines were to get his name placed on the ballot. He was able to get his name placed on the ballot in Oklahoma, but I don't think he's going to be successful going forward because we're getting closer and closer to the election, which is in November. I don't know that he's going to be able to meet those deadlines. Of course, the fee to pay to get it done is probably like $20 out of his pocket. But just because you can afford to do this does not mean that you should. So I applaud him for stepping up to the plate and giving money back to George Floyd and to Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, the monies that he's given. I think it was just to George Floyd's daughter, if I'm not mistaken. But he's been out in the streets with the people in Chicago as well, protesting with the Black Lives Matter group and movement. I am okay with him doing that. I also think he needs to sit down and take care of his mental health. There is no talk of president should come out of your mouth. And then they vet you. That's the other thing. I know you can run if you want to, or if you got enough money to, but you get vetted for these things as well. So when they see some of the things and they look back over your life, are you going to make the cut to be the president in the first place? I'm not sure. So I'm not, I think it's cute. It's a cute idea. But had this been Kanye in 2006, then I probably would have been like, let's go, Kanye. This ain't 2006 Kanye, okay? This is a brand new Kanye, and I don't think we're ready for him at all to run a country. I can't get behind it. I do certainly hope that he gets help because it's not funny to go through a bipolar syndrome at all. That's something that's not to be played with. It's totally not funny at all. There are a lot of people that are making jokes about it, and laughing about it and that sort of thing. But you don't realize how much it is to go through that syndrome or to deal with a family member to go through that. So I definitely don't think that it's something that should be made light of at all. Period. I just don't believe that. So this is our election episode. We had a few guests that were scheduled today. A couple were unable to make it, but one did join and decided that she was definitely down to be on and be a part. Now we are supposed to be sharing this on Facebook. However, I do not know how to do this. I don't know how to do this at all. period, where we can show it live on Facebook while we're doing this. So we're just gonna do this. That's what we're gonna do. So Anya Parker is running for state representative here in Memphis, Tennessee. And Anya, I want you to come on. We're going to talk to you about the position, but she's running for District 90. And I'm super excited about it. So we're going to talk to her about her platform, kind of what she stands for, and what she's going to bring to the table as a state representative. So Anya, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you guys doing?
We are good. We are good. We are good.
I've been enjoying this dialect. Like, oh my God, just to hear, you know, two amazing Black women talking about the issues. It's good. It's really good. So I just want to commend you guys first off for doing what you're doing, and I hope that you continue to produce this type of information because this is definitely needed.
Oh, of course.
Thank you. And I definitely want to thank you for coming on the show today. We are excited to have you here, and excited to have you just come on and discuss kind of what you're standing for and the issues that are at hand. So I want you to start off by just kind of introducing yourself and kind of explaining how did this start? How did Anya wake up one morning and say, I'm ready for a state representative?
Right. So for me, first of all, you know, I am Anya Parker. I'm running for state representative for District 90. District 90 is Midtown, Fraser, South Memphis, and North Memphis. I've been in the neighborhood for 35 years, my whole life. I have 3 children. I'm a salon owner, and I'm a community advocate. For me, how I got into politics, I always say it was by default. My grandmother was a politician. She was the first African-American city councilwoman in Greenville, Mississippi. Oh, wow. And so I spent my summers with my grandmother, and I looked up to my grandmother. And, you know, now that I'm running, it's like I'm remembering the times when she had me at the town hall meetings with her. And I remember this one incident where she was passing out papers and she stopped to me and she said, Anya, when you look around, what do you see? And I looked around and, you know, I'm like about 6 years old. I told her I saw white people. And she laughed, but she said, Anya, she said, you belong here. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, you belong in this space. And so my grandmother sowed those seeds into me at a very young age. About 3 years ago, our elected officials thought it would be a great idea to eliminate safety regulations for 57,000 beauty and barber professionals. And so with me not really having a whole lot of knowledge of what that meant, I got in my car and I drove to the Capitol because I wanted answers. I wanted to know why our elected officials thought that this was a great idea. So I did the drive for months. And we were able to galvanize support from elected officials and business owners, and we were able to stop deregulation. But after that, it was like my life was never the same. I woke up, I was concerned about voter suppression, education inequality, healthcare. It just like it was never ending for me. And so that's how I got into politics.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. So, I know one of your big platforms that reading up on some of the things that you're standing for and some of the things that you are looking to push. Education is one of the big themes. And I know you have kids. I have kids. Wendy has a child. And a majority of the people that are probably listening to this have children. So what are your thoughts on how our kids are tested and how that's tied to funding? Because test scores aren't always the greatest, especially with us in comparison to some of the other states around us. And so that's kind of what pushes and drives though that funding for our school system, and probably could help us with the overcrowding issues that we have in some of the schools. A lot of our schools closing down. I know we've had several schools closed down in the last probably about 4 or 5 years that have been pillars in our community. One in particular that's right around the corner from me is Carnes Elementary. My dad went there as a kindergartner, and my dad is in his 70s. And to see, and my oldest son went there from first grade to the 5th grade or 6th grade at the time. His 5th grade. And then my youngest went there pre-K, but then the very next year they kind of closed down. So how we kind of explain to us kind of how that is correlated with our funding and how that affects us in our communities.
Right. So, as you said, education is one of my platform issues. Not just because I have children, but I service kids. Like I said, I'm a salon owner.
Right.
So the teachers, they sit in my chair. The principals sit in my chair, and the students sit in my chair. Right. And they all come to me and they talk to me about the issues that they're facing in our community. And so, today I was working with a client, and he is a teacher, and he said, how can we expect a fish to climb a tree? And what I got from that is, the test, the language that they're using for the test is confusing to the children.
Yeah.
If you're asking a child from North Memphis about a yacht, they don't know what a yacht is. And so that's very distracting. And there's no time for the teachers to properly educate the children. And then when it comes down to the funding portion of it, we definitely need to fund our educators. I don't understand why we're not raising the wage for our teachers. Pay them more for the work that they're doing.
Because they do need it.
Yeah, they do.
God
they
bless
need
them.
More money.
God bless them. I pray for them all the time.
All the time.
Yes. Our teachers are amazing. Like I said, a good percentage of my clientele is teachers, and they're great people. They want to be in the classroom, but the thing is, you're kind of handicapping them because they don't have the access with the testing. The testing is presenting so many different measures. And it's just unfair. It's an unfair system, and definitely we need to revisit our testing procedures. I'm not saying that we shouldn't use testing, because I think it has its good points as well to be able to track what the students are doing. But we all know that they're taking that data to determine how many children will be in prison. And that's what they're preparing for.
Yeah.
And so,
it just breaks my heart that there are teachers that really just want to teach. And it's like you stated, it's all about testing now and not about teaching. Not about education, but it's all about testing. That is all I have seen is just test. We got this test. My son, we got this testing done. We had to do this testing. I'm like, when are you going to learn anything?
Absolutely. And the kids are frustrated as well because they want to learn.
They do. They definitely want to learn. So what do you suggest as a candidate? What can we do differently in that situation? Is there maybe a restructuring of the test itself, or how does that work? Because I know even to get certain licenses here in the state of Tennessee, you have to go through. It's a particular person that you go through to go take those tests. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, Pearson VUE, because I sell insurance. So when I got my insurance exams, I had to go through Pearson VUE, and I had to literally learn how to take that test in order to pass it. And then end up learning, what I needed to learn, from what I do every day, daily. But how do you think that we could kind of deal with that or curve that? Is that just a state situation that we're dealing with, or is that something on the federal level that needs to be taken care of, to get to that point for that to change?
Right. So, I would say it's both. The biggest problem that I'm witnessing is that they're not talking to the teachers. They're not talking to the teachers, and they're not talking to the parents. If we would just listen to them, then we can set up a better strategy for how to fix this problem. But as far as funding goes, what I would like to see neighborhoods investing in their own schools. In District 90, I'm not gonna call any names, but there's a school and a church right across the street from each other. Why aren't they working together?
Yeah. Yeah.
That church should be investing their time and their money into the neighborhood schools. We need to stop waiting on the government to fix our problems. We have all the tools that we need already within our community. You know, I'm like I said, I'm not the traditional candidate. I'm just a real person who wants to see some changes. And like I said, for me, I'm listening. I'm listening to the teachers. I'm listening to the parents. We have the tools. But how can we effectively pull all of this together so each one is going to have to step up and do what needs to be done?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I would like to shout out my because can you hear me okay?
I can't. You a little. I can't hear you. But
it was breaking up a little.
Yeah.
How about now?
A little better.
Okay. Well, when you were saying that, I would like to shout out my church. I go to the Life Church, and I know the one on Highland, and also the one on Austin P. We have what we call the Memphis Dream Centers, and like after the school, after school, we pick up children starting in the 2nd grade, and we help them, with their reading and their math skills and their English skills, give them tutoring and stuff like that. So I just want to give a shout out to my church for stepping out and doing that. And they were supposed to do it for only 2nd graders, but then when they started the program, it was supposed to be for only 2nd graders, but then they wanted to continue when they got up to the 3rd grade. And then the kids wanted to continue when they got into the 4th grade and stuff like that. So each year it gets bigger and bigger because we're still adding 2nd graders. But I just wanted to give a shout out because there are some churches out there that do care about the kids, especially in the inner city. So
yeah, but we also have to do it too. I do know that Life Church is a predominantly white church. They're welcome arms and they have a really good ministry, and I appreciate them. I know a lot of people that do attend Life Church, but our own churches and our own communities definitely need to step up to the plate and do something. And then
I want to add the nonprofits as well.
Yeah.
We got the largest number of nonprofits in Memphis.
Yep.
What's happening?
That's the truth. I mean, and that's the truth. So, and my mom, and I'm finna shamelessly plug her. She has a nonprofit organization called Youth United with Senior Citizens at Old Fire Station in North Memphis, where we've been working with the kids and the elderly and the homeless for a number of years in the community. I do know funding is the issue because you got to go sit down and get grants and all that stuff. And my mom has had some personal struggles with health and everything. And then with COVID-19 right now, it's been real hard to kind of deal with and get some things done. And then the volunteer aspect of it. But then you also got Neighborhood Christian Center that the kids go there for after school. Here's 2 still in North Memphis community. But we still have to as a community come together and pull all of our resources together. I know we were talking earlier about Black Lives Matter and how a lot of people are saying, Black lives don't matter because y'all not protesting and marching because of Black folk doing that. But I'm like, I know I can name 4 organizations off the top of my head that I can name right now that a lot of people are complaining about, but they're not pouring back into those community organizations. Or they're not at any of those protests, or they're not marching with those people fighting against Black on Black crime. You know what I'm saying? It's just another and we as citizens can do something and participate and be activists. You got plenty of people just sitting on their butts and not doing anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just that we got to stop complaining. We got to put our hands together, our heads together, and do something. So
it can happen. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
Get me excited.
You're fine.
It can happen in any space. I'm a salon owner. And the way that I've been giving back is I host free workshops for the youth.
Yeah.
We have a lot of young girls that want to learn how to do hair.
Yeah.
Show them for free.
Yeah.
So it's so many different ways that you can give back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's the thing. So we just gotta come together and make it happen. Well, speaking of which, crime, that's a big issue that we have been dealing with. And we were talking about the narrative that they're putting out there on the news. And of course, it's a problem. We know it's a problem. We definitely know it's a problem because of the way that things are happening. Here in the city, I've heard people getting shot. I try not to watch the news too much. I read. I do a lot. I read a lot of news articles, or I might see something posted on social media, and I'll read it if it's from a reputable news source, and go with that story or what have you. But how do you feel, or what do you feel like can be done as far as our crime rate is concerned here in the city?
Right. And so, you talked about earlier about the incident at Put with the children.
Yeah.
And, I'm starting to see the news, they're always showing this narrative about our children, putting fear into folks. So I want to send out a quick little shout out to my daughter, Jakaya Parker, who graduated from Central at the top of her class. She was number 20. So all of our children are not committing crimes and doing the wrong thing.
Right.
What I hear from my kids and their friends, because I'm always around a lot of children. I have 3. And yet I tell them, I say, well, if your friends, they're with me, they're my kids.
Yeah.
When they're in my position. But what they always say is there is not enough programs. All of our children are not going to college. And for us to send that message to them, it's like you're preparing them to fail. If he cannot read, how is he going to go to college?
Yeah.
So we need to start giving them skills, whether it's the STEM programs, auto mechanic, salon owners. I know salon owners that are making 6 figures.
Yeah.
Without a degree.
So basically, you're talking about Votech, right? Because I know when I was in school, it was called Votech.
Right.
And they do have a couple of programs, but they're limited because it's not enough. They also have to have funding to do what they do. They one thing that one program, because I talked about this, is I have a child that just graduated from high school as well. My son is into computers, and so he started with a program called Code Crew. Through school. So he started in 7th grade, and he's been going through their program. So he's done every program that they've had for students. They helped him to build an app. He built that app. It's on Google Play right now. He's working on a video game that's supposed to be released really, really soon. So he's gotten the tools to do that. But they also have code school for students who graduated from high school. They're 18, or adults rather, that may have their high school diploma, but college wasn't an option for them. Or, so they're teaching them how to code so they can go out and get a job doing computer work, which you can make pretty good money doing that. We have to now. I will say this: Code Crew has partnered up. I do know that. So a lot of Joshua's time when he was going through Code Crew was spent at Leicester Community Center in the evening times after school. And then they have been going into some of the schools because they've taken things away. And as a matter of fact, one of the owners or the founders of Code Crew, he went to East, and East had those programs as a part of their curriculum. So that's how he learned his love for computers and coding and that sort of thing. Shout out to Mecca and Audrey and all the guys over there at Code Crew. But they've changed East program. Completely and totally changed East program from the coding, the health science program that they had over there. And then they did have they had Votech as well, where people learned how to do hair and do some other things. They pulled those programs out of school.
Yeah, because they're only required to have a certain percentage. But the thing is, we need to have it at every school. Let's just be frank, especially in our predominantly Black schools.
Yeah. Yep.
And I bet you they have it in schools like Bartlett, Germantown, Colleyville. I bet you they have.
We know they get access to a lot of things that Black and brown children don't have.
Yeah, and we don't. So if there were other things, because another big thing that I saw with you was the living wage. The minimum wage, I believe, is it still $7.25? Is that what minimum wage is?
Yes. It was $7.25 when I got my first job at McDonald's.
Right. So it was also $7.25 for me when I actually it was a little lower than that when I worked my first job. I think it was like 5 something when I worked my first job. But then when I got when I moved on up to another job in high school, it was $7.25. And they, they were like, oh yeah, they raised them. And I'm like, they just raised it like $1 in some change. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. This is minimum wage, and you guys, this is how can people live off of $7.25 an hour? With an occasional bump with a 50-cent raise. How do they feel like people can live off of that? Right. So the protest with the $15 an hour, you are for that protest that with the McDonald's workers, for instance, that they've been protesting kind of all over the country, demanding that they get higher wages.
Right. So I will say yes, I am for a gradual increase. Okay. So with me being a business owner and then just being a leader, period, you need to be able to see things on both sides.
Right.
The working person and the person who owns that business as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right now, if I was to hire someone and just say I was paying them $7.25, I wouldn't be able to pay them $15 overnight. Right. I'm just being realistic.
Right.
So that could harm businesses, and that's why I have it listed as a gradual increase. But what we can do, we can give those businesses tax incentives. All right, you're going to do this gradual increase, but this is the incentive that you're going to get on the back end for increasing your pay. And so that's one of the ways we can raise minimum wage. But see, the issue is who's sitting at the table. We got billionaires sitting at the table making a decision for 90% of the other people. Yeah. And so until we change that, we're going to always be faced with this same situation. It makes no sense for minimum wage to be the same for 20-something years.
Right.
That's ridiculous. And now we got COVID. Let's add that in there. Now we got COVID. So you got parents who are faced with the decision of, do I go to work or do I stay home and educate my children?
Yep.
That's rough.
Absolutely right. So how do you think as a person that's going into politics, and I'm not sure what option, I discuss my option all the time. My baby boy is staying at home and we're just gonna have to make it work. And so because he has asthma, I don't want him to get COVID and get sick, and I don't want that to be an issue for me. So my question is, how do you think, or what do you think is the best way to possibly handle this, or how do you think we should have handled COVID to begin with?
From my perspective, it's like nobody knew anything. City council, state, the school board, and I was very disappointed because I feel like they should have had more protection there. Because the thing is, going forth, it's going to be another disease. It's going to be another pandemic. It's going to be another disaster. So what are we doing going forth to protect our children? But see, the real issue is they wanted to dismantle public education anyway. And so...
And privatize it, right.
Absolutely. So I'm going to get off my horse. But what I have been telling parents,
well, I have been telling now, you can keep going now. That's what you're here for.
I know. I know, but I will get on that horse. And my thing is, at the end of the day, we can talk about all the wrong things, but if we're not going to be proactive, it just doesn't matter. So what I have been telling parents is be prepared to be hands-on homeschooling your children. Like, get that in your mind that is the decision that you're going to have to make. But once again, you have parents in a decision where they have to decide, am I going to go to work and feed my kids, or stay home and not be able to feed them? So the state should be required to give those parents some money if they have to stay at home with the children.
I think so as well. Or give the jobs where the parents can work. Because my job, I can work from home. I really can. I don't have to. I don't have to see.
Me
I can do
too.
everything. I can email you what you need. You can sign it if it's something you need to sign. Like, it's ways around it to where I can work from home. But that's not what my boss said. My boss said I need to be in the office. So give those businesses where they feel like they can't operate or function without having physical people in the office incentives to allow their employees to work from home, because there's a lot of companies that have found that, hey, these folks don't have to come up in this building, they can work from home.
Absolutely.
And
They definitely couldn't extend their paid time off. They can do
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
mean, there's other
Mm-hmm.
options out there where they can help parents.
right. Because it is it's a horrible decision that you're having to make. And a lot of people were on the table about what they were gonna do. And I know we had a deadline initially to make a decision whether or not we were gonna do virtual learning option or the physical learning option, where we are, sending our kids to class to have physical instruction. And that kind of went away out the door. They were like, okay, we're going to extend this because none of y'all have responded. We only got a small percentage of parents that have responded to this. So that's an issue and a difference. And me just going to different places and just kind of hearing people talk about it in their decisions, or looking on Facebook where people are like, me and my husband both work during the day, during school hours. This is not an option for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It can't be the only option, but then at the same time we have to protect our students.
Yeah.
So we're faced with a very tricky I mean, something's gonna happen regardless of
Right.
which option we choose.
Right. Absolutely. Well, one more thing, because I was looking at this, and I know I didn't previously send this to you. Healthcare system. I noticed that healthcare in Tennessee is a little different from some other states. And I'll give you an example. I have a friend who has lupus. And she got diagnosed with it before she left, because she's a chef by trade. She got a
Mm-hmm.
job as a executive chef at a assisted living facility. And it was good money. They moved her away. She was living in Colorado at the time. She got really, really sick to where she had to be taken off work and started going through the process of applying for disability. When she moved back home, however, they didn't apply her for disability. She had to come back home and kind of, make cakes or take catering orders and that sort of thing, because she didn't have. The other issue she had was when she got to Tennessee, they weren't offering her any insurance because she was an able-bodied adult in their mind, because she really wasn't able-bodied, but she was an able-bodied adult in their mind. And some of the things that I found disturbing was lupus, you have to deal with pain management. They did not, because she didn't have insurance, would not give her pain meds to manage her pain, which was ridiculous to me. I thought it was really crazy that they didn't do that. So the situation with the healthcare system, and I know they have like Obamacare and that sort of thing, but even with that, in certain situations for certain people, that's not affordable. And I know at one point in time we had the 10 care, not the 10 care, but it was another form of it where people who work probably small businesses were still able to get health insurance for a smaller fee. And I know they cut that out. So what are your thoughts on healthcare, or the lack thereof? Because there's a lot of people that don't have healthcare.
Right. So, I'm a business owner, so I know all about that.
Right.
Having to take care of your own insurance.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely for Medicaid expansion, and not only expanding it, but, quality. Like, no
Right.
matter the zip code, whether you're in Collierville or you're in North Memphis, everyone should have quality health care.
Yes.
So I'm flabbergasted by some of the things that I have seen.
Yeah.
Once they hit 18, You know, a lot of them are not getting access to that
Yeah.
affordable health care anymore.
Yeah.
But once again, we're not raising the minimum wage. It's like we're not fixing the problem. We're willing to put a bandage over it. And it
Right.
goes back to what I said before about the people that are sitting at the table. They're millionaires.
Yeah.
They don't have this issue.
Yeah.
And so until we can have some real voices sitting at that table, then we're going to keep going down this same pattern. So that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Right.
It's basically we got to go and vote because it's all about the people that are making the rules.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We definitely got to get out and vote. I definitely want you guys to get out. We got early elections going on right now. And they're going to be going on through August the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. We want you to get out. Local elections are extremely important. extremely important. So we want to make sure that you guys are, and I'm saying this because there are referendums that are put on the ballot that people vote on and vote for. People don't realize that. You got people that are running for office that are good if you actually listen to the platforms and the things that they stand for and that sort of thing, and you see what they're doing and what they're putting into what they're doing, so they can effectively make change on those levels that you're voting on. But then there are things that are put on there where they allow the citizens to decide how a law is supposed to go. And when we don't go and vote and we don't exercise that right, whatever the decision is that they sign into law in on the state and the city level for you, hey, guess what? That it just is what it is because you did not go and vote. So early elections are taking place now through August the 1st, and then we have the general election that's taking place on August the 6th. Anya, do you have anything else to add to that as far as voting is concerned?
Yes, I do. So, y'all, for me, I'm gonna be honest. Running for office has to be one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like I said, I got 3 children, on the business. I got a lot going on.
Right.
But the most important thing that I have learned is they have to earn your vote. I'm not voting for you because you're Black.
Right.
Because all skin folk ain't kin folk.
Right.
I'm not voting for you because you've been elected 20,000 times.
Right.
I want to see you in my community. I want to see you serving the people. I want to see how you interact with folks. I want to know what your policies are.
Right.
And so I will say this to all people, everyone who is listening to my voice, make them earn your vote. Don't just vote for them because they have a trendy name. Call them. I am that type of person. You can reach out to me. My number is 901-210-6637. It's a public number. You can call me. And that's the type of leadership we need. We don't need folks that's going to duck and hide when there's an issue going on. We need real people at the table that's willing to listen and not listen to these lobbyist companies and these millionaires, because those are the folks that's really making the decisions for us. But like she said, the local elections are the most important ones. Please get out and vote. Whether you vote for me or you vote for another candidate, vote, elect good people. That's it. Anya Parker, I'm running for state representative for District 90. I would love to have your support. If you guys want to reach out to me, like I said, my number is 901-210-6637. AP for Tennessee on social media. And I thank you ladies so much for having me. Like, I mean, I have, I was, you know, before I was like, well, Lord, I got so much going on. You know, we're in the middle of early voting, and it's been so much that has happened. But I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so glad that I took the time, because you guys gave me that extra oomph of energy that I needed to make through the rest of this week. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on and agreeing and coming here and just talking to us. Yes. Thank you so much. We are so glad to have had you on today. And you guys make sure y'all get out and vote. Do your research on your candidates. and is Anya says, make them earn your vote. So
Yeah.
get
If you
out there.
don't get a you get a pen. They give you the pen. So I've already did my voting.
Okay,
So
and I'm going this week to do my early voting because I'm going to get that done. But yeah, make sure you guys are getting out, getting to the polls and voting, and making sure your voice is heard. All right. Well, we are going to wrap up in just a few. Hey guys, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but we have shirts. We're starting our merch. I got the black one on. I think Wendy has the white one on. The size up. Y'all see that? Oh, y'all can see it better because I can't. I don't know if I can. Oh, yes, I can.
gray.
See that?
The gray.
Huh? Yes. Right. So we got merch. We're starting our merch. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Once we get our pricing and everything together, we're gonna put it out there. If you want a size up shirt though, go on and let us know so we can go ahead and get your order together and make sure you get a size up shirt. We're gonna have some more merch real soon. But we definitely wanted to wear it so we can show you guys. We working on our stuff. We are. Well, make sure you guys are staying tuned. The website, I prayerfully will be up this week too. We're working on that. Working on that. And Wendy, you got anything coming up? Any specials you got?
Oh yes. So Wednesday is National Lipstick Day. So what I am doing from starting today until Wednesday, if you buy one lipstick, you get one free.
Okay.
My goal is to sell 35.
Okay.
And that's 70. That's 70 with the free lipstick included. So I'm trying to sell 35 lipsticks. So yeah, so I put a post up on the page so you can see it, guys. And then also I am working on a book. I came with an idea.
Okay.
I'm not telling what it is yet.
No, don't tell us
I got so much
yet.
going on. I'm like, right. It's gonna be a novel series. So I've already got how I want it to be done. So at night I'm just writing. So I can't wait till it's finished. The first book is finished, and I can let y'all know that. So pray that
definitely plug it. We definitely gonna plug it because you our girl. So we're definitely gonna plug that. Like I said again, guys, we got some shirts. We have started our merch. So if you are interested in getting a shirt, hit us up. Let us know. The size up. We are super excited about what we got going on and going forward. We also want you to make sure that you are following us on all of our social media platforms, as well as on Anchor, Spotify, Lord God, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Spreaker, it's Smo, SoundCloud. Make sure you guys are following us and getting caught up on all the episodes. If you're not, make sure you get caught up. Wendy, how can they find you?
Of course, you can find me on Facebook, Wendy Edinburgh Smith. If you do Wendy EDING, it's going to pull up my whole information. On Instagram, it's VLux76. That's VEELUX 76. And then my Mary Kay website is www.marykay.com/WEDINGBOURGH. I want to say one thing. Okay. There was a top director, Mary Kay, and I think it was in Minnesota or something like that. It was upstate. Indiana, Minnesota was one of them.
Okay.
She and her husband in the pink Cadillac removed one of the Black Lives Matter signs. Okay. So a lot of people been talking about ban Mary Kay. I just want to let everybody know Mary Kay has released that woman and she's no longer a representative of Mary Kay. They done pulled her caddy. They didn't strip her of all her titles. She is no longer able to sell Mary Kay anymore. Wow. And just because one white lady did that, we have Mary Kay has over 3 million consultants worldwide. Right. So it's very diverse. And for people to say we need to ban Mary Kay, don't buy anything Mary Kay. Yes, the company was founded by a white lady, but there are a whole bunch of black women, especially our top national sales director is a black woman, and she's been the top national for years. Okay, making have over $10 million of commission, so she's doing her thing. Right. And she, you know, it's like there are black women at the top. And when you say don't buy Mary Kay, you're cutting off black people's livelihood as well.
Right.
So just want to let you know the woman has been removed from Mary Kay. She's no longer a sales director. She no longer has that Cadillac unless she decides she's going to pay the note. But you know, Mary Kay took care of that real quick. They saw it, took care.
As they should have. You can't represent a business and operate in that manner. You just can't do that. Especially since, you know, she may not have black customers, but I know plenty of black people offhand that can that are customers of Mary Kay, and they swear by it. So yeah.
Okay, you Faith. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can reach us at the Size Up on Facebook, the Size Up 2102. And yes, look at the shirt. The Size Up 2102 on Instagram. The Size Up. I don't know if we got a Twitter page. I got to see if I created Twitter. I don't know if I did or not. But also on YouTube, the Size Up podcast on YouTube. Check us out. If you would rather see our beautiful faces, you can view this video and others like it of the episodes on YouTube. And I'm actually going to go back and share this episode on Facebook since we could not go that, because I don't know how to. I promise to God, I'm so technologically what's the word?
Challenge.
There you go. I'm there right there. Because I don't know how to do it. I saw it one time and then I haven't seen it anymore. And normally we have Heather with us, and I don't know why we didn't have Heather with us today. But Heather normally does all the technical stuff.
Well, this may be also, you know, this may be the chance for us, each of us, to learn how to do it. So just in case.
I'm going to have to. Yes. But I didn't even see, because normally it pops up. Do you want to share this on social media? And I didn't even see the button where to, you know, to click on it to share it on Facebook or anywhere. So we'll figure it out. We'll get it together.
Yes.
So I am going to share this one on YouTube, and then I'm going to try to share the YouTube page so that people can come to the YouTube page and watch us on YouTube. But make sure you are following us. Make sure you are listening to us on the many podcast channels. I'm trying to figure out how to get us on iHeartRadio. That's going to happen real soon. But in the meantime, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud. It's a couple of more, but y'all get the idea. Y'all get the picture. So make sure you guys are definitely following us. If you have an idea, a show idea, you want to be a guest on the show, and we got some good guests coming up in a minute. Oh, if you want to be a part of the round table is coming up in a couple of weeks, three.
Yes, talk about the round table.
So if we are a man or a woman, you can be married, divorced, single, widow, whatever. We want you on the round table. This particular round table is going to be why do they do what they do? We got it. So we got some whys that are coming through. So we got a lot of questions. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus type of questions. Why do y'all do A, B, C, D, E, F, G? We want you. Please come. We're gonna be sharing a flyer real soon about that episode. Make sure you guys are on. Email us at the sizeup2102@gmail.com. I'm sorry. And also make sure you inbox us on Facebook or Instagram if you're interested in participating in that show. You do not have to live here in Memphis, where we are from. You can live anywhere, because we are going to have you come on to Zoom. It's gonna be a Zoom episode. So a Zoom episode for anybody that wants to participate. I hope the three of us are gonna be together. But Men, women, we need you. So if you are interested in participating in that particular episode, hit us up, let us know. We'll add you to the list. The more the merrier. I don't want everybody and their grandmama on this episode. We're gonna have more roundtables, but so we will have a cutoff. But if you're interested, let us know as soon as possible so we can put you on the list and get you on that episode. We are excited about it. We want to have these conversations because it's a lot of questions I got. I want to know the answers to them. At any rate, are you okay?
Girl, there are dragonflies everywhere, like big, huge dragonflies. I'm just looking at them swarming around our car.
Yeah, I don't understand it all. But make sure you guys are tuning in. If y'all got any questions, show ideas, anything you want to be a guest, hit us up. Needing advice. We're gonna start. We're gonna have a spot on the website with the blog. So we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna talk about that. I can't wait. So y'all get our blog entries and hear our advice and that sort of thing. And we can do some on the show. So if you need advice about something, you want to talk about something, anything like that, particular situation, we got you. But that's it. That's all I got. Anything else, Heather? I mean, Wendy, I'm sorry. Nope. All right.
I'm good. Girl, I told you calling me Heather.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She ain't here today. I don't know what's wrong, but okay. All right. So we will see you next time on the Size Up.
Bye.
Bye-bye.